What's up YouTube, it's Chris. So today is the first video that I'm making about the problems that a transgender person can face traveling. So people who don't know, I'll just give you a bit of context. I am just a non-binary trans person who decided to start traveling. This moment I'm traveling around Central America, and I thought it'd be interesting just to register all the issues that a transgender person can face traveling that a cis person wouldn't necessarily come across. So yeah, this is the first video. So the first topic I'm going to talk about is just body image and the problems that we can face with body image, especially for trans people who haven't had surgeries. So in my case, for example, specifically in my case, I haven't had top surgery, so I haven't, removed my chest, and that means that I have to wear a specific type of swimwear. What does that mean? It means I wear my board shorts normally, and then I also have to wear on top of that either the top of a bikini, a surf top, or a whole piece swimsuit, under my board shorts. Why? Because even though I don't have that much chest, I cannot get away with going topless. I can't unless I'm at a topless beach, whatever. But it's just I can't get away with it without getting into trouble or without getting everybody stare at you, because they'll immediately see a woman walking topless someplace where that person shouldn't. So it's a very controversial subject. Not for me. I wouldn't really care if I went topless. It's a very controversial subject for society. So that's basically the main issue. Now, how I dealt with that. I dealt with that really stupidly. At first, people obviously now when they see me automatically say, he, male pronouns, they call me Chris. And obviously it's something that I like, but it also means that I've got to be careful. So in Central America, I'm living on beaches, by pools. It's boiling hot, so obviously I'm swimming my life away. No, I'm swimming everywhere, and that means having to deal with the fact that people see me as male, but if they were to see me in a swimming suit, they would see me as female. That's something that I have to come to terms with, because society. Yeah. So how did I deal with that? At first, stupidly, I decided to hide myself. I wasn't going swimming. I didn't go to the beach with people that if I formed a group of friends, and I wasn't going to swim with them. If I was on my own, I didn't care, just because I wasn't talking to anyone. But if I had made some friends, then I would just put a big cross in swimming. So for example, if a hostel had a pool, we were all chilling by the pool, and I was with 4 people, 5 people, whatever, and all of them were swimming, I'd just sit by the pool and watch them and laugh with them, and of course, chat with them and everything, but they're all in the pool, and the only thing I wanted to do was get in there with them. So as you can imagine, that's really frustrating, and I don't recommend it at all. Why? Because not only does it just lower your self-esteem and it just messes your mind up, it also makes you go back in your transition, in the sense that if you're taking hormones, or if you're doing whatever steps it is you want to take to identify as something, and then as you're traveling you're doing the opposite, then obviously it's going to make you feel like crap. And that's what it did for me for some time. I really didn't feel good about myself. I actually even wanted to stop the trip, because I thought, well, what's the point? I might as well just get top surgery first and then just do the trip. And it makes you question everything again, but in a bad way. And yeah, so I really don't recommend that approach. I know it's the one I did at first just because it was my instinct to do that, just to hide away, be in a cocoon. But it's not proactive at all. What I started doing after is, if I met a group of people and I knew I was going to go swimming with them, then I would immediately introduce myself as Chris, as female. Why? Because I knew they were going to see me in a swimwear, so I was calculating everything. For example, I did my open water PADI certificate, so I knew that obviously to go scuba diving, I was going to have to put my swimming suit on. So to that group of people in my class, for example, I automatically introduced myself as a female. And for me, as a non-binary person, it's not as difficult as it would be for a trans guy who could fully identify as male. But it also did cause a few problems in my head because I felt like I was introducing myself as female for the wrong reasons. Now, if I did feel female that day and I wanted to introduce myself as female, that would be fine. But if it was just to make other people comfortable, then it's not okay. But that was the second step I took. Again, I don't think it's the best approach, but I do understand why I did it. Just because that's how I work. The problem with that is that you can't always know if you're going to go swimming with that group of friends or not, which is what happened to me. For example, I met this group of people in one country, in El Salvador, and we ended up traveling together for about 3 weeks. Obviously, going to different countries and different beaches. Obviously, I introduced myself as Chris, male, and I was right back to where I started before. So yeah, being right back at point 0 was not ideal for me. It wasn't what I wanted at all. And I don't think it's the sort of situation that anybody would want to be. So the best solution, I would say, for everyone is to open up. Eventually that's what I did. I'm not saying I'm where I want to be. I can still see a finish line that I have to reach, but I really do think that the best policy is communication. If you just explain things simply and slowly to people, there'll be no problem. People who travel are usually very open-minded and don't give a crap about this sort of thing. And ideally, that's the point you should reach, not give a crap. It doesn't matter if people get confused. Why should you care? I know it's easier said than done. I'm not there yet at all. It definitely affects me when people see me, look at me, and are really confused, or they start. I like that they question, but I don't like that it makes them uncomfortable, because it makes me uncomfortable and it makes me very anxious. So I really do think that the solution is communication. I actually started doing that. I told 2 people about this whole transition, that they were going to see me in a swimming suit, and it went really well, really smoothly. They were both really cool about it. They had no issues, obviously not. I think that it's just trans people really build it up in a bad way in their own heads, because maybe you've had bad experiences, maybe or for whatever other reason, because there are idiots out there, of course there are, but that doesn't mean that you should put everybody in that same box. And I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I did the exact same, and I think it's instinct to want to protect yourself. But I think that the key again is communication, and to open your own mind, because it's not that other people's minds are shut. If you don't even talk about it with them, then you're not even giving them the opportunity to hear about it, to know about this sort of subject. That's really what I have to say. I'm not really sure if this video is exactly like I wanted it to go, or if it's the way you wanted it to go. If not, definitely let me know in the comments. This is only a first try, and I'm definitely wanting to make these videos better and interesting. So yeah, I'll make another video soon, and in the meantime, I'll go to the beach in whatever swimwear I want. Bye.